Hello folks, I'm here at Rome Street Grill in Harriman, and I've got Sam here, one of the servers here, and she's going to tell us what they got to offer you as far as food goes. Sam, go ahead.
Well, we offer a lot of home cooking. We have a daily special every day, Monday through Friday. On Saturdays and Sundays we do a buffet. Saturday we have fried catfish, all you can eat, it's $11.99, and on Sundays we do a full buffet. Fried chicken, pre-made meats, 10 to 12 vegetables, salad bar, it also has dessert. Every day we have something special. We also offer prime rib on Fridays. We have fried oysters most days of the week. They're fresh. We have daily specials outside of, well, every day we have a special, but we also have other specials like you'll see them on our boards here today. We do chicken livers. We sell a lot of chicken livers or gizzards. We have homemade desserts. Generally there's 5, 6, sometimes 11 desserts.
Oh, man. Hey folks, what can you say about a menu like that? Rome Street Grill. Come down and visit with them. Remember the Let's Go Fishing show. Thank you, Sam.
Thank you.
All right. Hey folks, I'm up here on Norris and got Tim Ward and Chris Ward with me, and Chris got a smallmouth right there. That's what we come after. So we're waiting on Tim to score and we'll be in business. We finally getting on something here, so stay tuned. Remember the sponsors. Can't do the show without them. Thanks for that, and let's go fishing. Folks, old Tim's got him a smallmouth back there now.
Oh boy.
Hold on, buddy. All right, Tim, that's looking good, man. I believe we're getting on something, don't you?
Yeah, we're getting on something.
All right. There you go. Yes, sir.
I can't see what's going on. There it is. There it is. That way.
Well, you had him hooked good. I agree with that.
I can't see the hook. There it is.
Yeah, buddy. Oh yeah, I hear the snapping now. You got him now, buddy. Good job, Tim.
I'm gonna get a bigger one here in a minute.
All right, I'll let you get a bigger one. All right, folks, we're back at it again.
Mess my plug up.
Huh? No, looks good, buddy. All right, we get these bugs is eating us up. We're gonna turn the lights off, folks.
Hey, get that thing.
All right, folks. So Chris got another smallmouth there. That's a lot better than that first one you had, Chris.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one there.
That's pretty good one, buddy. Sure is. All right, buddy. Back to the water, and we're going to try to catch a bunch of them here, folks.
Let me set my camera, take one.
Tim wants to take a picture of that thing.
Yeah, these things send Kevin a picture.
All right.
Your camera, mine, don't matter.
Yes, sir. Yeah, buddy. Make sure we got plenty of light on it. All right.
You got him. All right, I'm going to turn him back.
Okay, going to turn him back, he said. Yeah, buddy, look at him go. All right, man, that's a good deal, boys. Let's get on another. All right, folks, they've doubled up on me this time. Tim's got one and Chris has got one. Doubled up, I'm telling you. Yes, sir. Got him hooked good, ain't you, buddy?
Yeah.
All right, boys. You can't beat a deal like that right there now. Huh? Nice and pretty little fish, yes, sir. All right, guys, let's do that again. Get your baits back in the water. Boys, old dadgum Chris has got another good smallmouth right there now. He's getting them, Tim. Huh? I'm going to put him on the trolling motor and I'm going to get in the middle of the boat. Huh?
Yeah, it's a nice one, boy. Turn him back.
All right, turn him back. Let me check your bait, Chris. I might want to change baits here.
Yeah.
All right. All right, Chris got another fish there, folks. Looking good, Chris.
Huh?
Looking good.
Oh, Chris slayed him, ain't he?
Yeah, yeah.
Got that rascal.
Yes, sir. All right, back in the water again. Okay, buddy. Good job, man. Folks, we catching them on these higher jigs and black and brown and watermelon and a little bit of everything. So we're going to stay after them here a little while longer. All right, folks. Old Tim's got one back there now. Yes, sir. We're getting on them, Tim. That looks good, buddy.
All right, I'm gonna pitch him back in, let him grow a little more.
All right, pitch him back in. Good deal, buddy. All right, folks, we got a pretty good fish there this time. That and there's pushing close to that 17, 18 inch mark.
Get one more picture of this thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, buddy. All right. What do you think, Tim?
I believe we got her, buddy. That's a nice one.
All right, back in the water, Chris. All right, folks, old Tim's got one back there now. Shucks, far. We're getting on them, ain't we, gentlemen?
Your boy, biting good.
Buddy, they biting good. That's a fact now. They sure are, buddy. Yeah, got that line wrapped around him. It'll come loose real easy. All right, buddy. Nice little smallmouth. Okay, Tim. Back in the water, son. Got one more piece of line. There it is. Now you can throw him back.
I'm gonna try to get old Kevin another.
Get Kevin another picture. Okie dokie. Sounds like a plan to me. All right. All right, folks. Old Tim's got a nice fish right there now, buddy. Yes, sir. That's a pretty dang good one.
More it is,
Yeah, buddy.
we're gonna get one more, Chris.
Yeah. He ain't real fat, but he's a real slender and long fish. Yeah, buddy. All right, man. That's a dandy.
Turn it around the other side.
Yeah, buddy. All right, Timothy. That's all right, son.
Hey, I think we're doing about as good as me and Kevin done it now.
We're getting there. If we ain't, we're getting there, old buddy.
We've caught a lot of fish, but
Yeah, we have.
I know we have.
That's what we come for. All right, folks, we're going to cut the lights out and get rid of the bugs and get back at it. Got another fish on, folks. Yeah, buddy.
Well, that didn't stay.
Yeah, he did. Need a needle nose. Oh, yeah. All right. Believe you got him, buddy. All right, man. Back in the water. Get another one. Folks, Chris got a pretty nice fish on right there now. That's another one of them nice fish right there, buddy. I tell you what, they're getting better all the time, ain't they?
Yeah, it's a good one.
Boy, they're pretty. I swear they are. All right. Tim's going to get a picture of that.
I'll kill old Kevin that one, ain't
Okay, man. Good job. Here we go. Back after another. All right, boys. Old Tim's got a good fish on right here now. Don't know what it is. Yeah, I see him down there now. Yeah, buddy. Oh, yeah. Attaboy. Bring him right on up here now. Yep. Good job. All right, man. Yeah. Man, that's a dandy. Yeah. Yes,
Steve
sir.
may have to do, sometimes he'll do search.
Sure.
If you can see it, get that.
Huh?
Get a picture
Can't
for
see it. Get
All right, I'll get him there in a second. Let Tim get his, watch that old seat now. All right, man, that's a good,
Shoot, I turned my camera off to take a picture.
that's a dandy fish right there. That fish right around 18 inches. He's poor, but he's 18 inches long.
One week second.
that out there.
Folks, Tim throwed another fish up here in the boat. That's a back-to-back cast now.
I'm gonna take pictures to my battery. I had 1% battery last year, and I'm keep taking them hot, Chris. It's a fish. We'll take a picture.
All right, back in the water. How many does that make we've caught
I
now?
don't know, Steve. It's been a bunch of them.
So we've caught a bunch, haven't we? Sure have. All right, we're going to try to get a few more. All right, Tim just throwed another nice smallmouth up here in the floor of the boat, folks. I'm telling you, he won't even let me get the net.
More or not.
Dadgummit. All right.
Hang on, we get one
That's
more.
Down here he's bleeding.
Yeah. Oh, all right, we're good. You back in the water. There's a towel right there in that box. All right, let's try to get another. What do you say, Brad? You got him?
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, good
Folks,
evening,
Brad and I are up here.
Welcome to the Let's Go Fishing show. I hope you enjoyed that fishing, and we caught several fish, had a good trip, nice trip, and we can talk a little bit more about that in a second. First, I want to introduce this fine group of gentlemen with me here tonight, and I'm going to let you guys just introduce yourself. We'll start on my right.
My name's Brad Doherty. I'm the Roane County Wildlife Officer.
Derek Gray, also Brad's partner, Roane County Wildlife Officer.
Barry Barrett, I'm Tennessee Wildlife District 32 Boating Officer.
All right. It's glad to have you gentlemen here with me. Always a pleasure to be able to talk with the TWRA about everything in the world. So it's good to have you here, folks. Get your phones and get your questions ready. Be a good night for you if you've got any questions concerning anything and everything about the boating and fishing here in the state of Tennessee. These guys here can help us. I will say this. Brad and Derek's here kind of to reinforce me with some regulations and this kind of thing. Also, that this Kids Day is coming up. They're here to promote that, and I appreciate them doing that. And Barry over here, he's a boater safety officer. He's going to tell us a lot about what they're going to be checking for, and might save you some money. So we'll get to them here in just a minute. I got just a couple of quick announcements to make, and then we're going to get into this talking to these gentlemen about what's going on. The fishing film, let me review that right quick. Tim Ward and his brother with me there Friday night. We had a nice trip at the north, just kind of waiting on things to get going up there. Caught a lot of fish on the black fly, pork rind, and black fly with the plastic, the little higher jigs. We did catch a few fish on the bigger jigs, but they just didn't want it as good as they did that 1/4 ounce, 3/16 higher fly, which that's my staple. I love to fish it, and it's a good bait. We caught a few fish on the watermelon jig, 1/4 ounce, and you don't find a watermelon deer tail. I don't care where you look, you won't find one. You guys know of any?
Negative.
Okay, well, there they go. They back me up on that. But you can get those higher watermelon jigs over at Edgemore Outdoors. Jim's got them stashed up there, and there's not any on the rack, which I doubt that they will not be, but he's got plenty in the file cabinet. Just tell him that I sent you over there, and he'll let you have them. But the watermelon jig is it's going to get better as we progress on into the summer here. But we did use a black, and we caught a few on the brown. We had some brown fly tied on and brown plastic behind that. Chris was throwing that. Tim was throwing the black like I was throwing, and so those two baits were pretty much the staple. And then I started throwing the watermelon a little later on tonight. So the fish we were setting in 15 feet of water, throwing around the trees and this, that, and the other. If y'all been up there lately, you know it's almost full pool. So there's some trees and bushes in the water, and the fish weren't deep. A lot of the fish came in there in the 6 to 8 foot range. Some of them even shallower than that. So that just gives you a little insight on what's going on at Norris right now and that kind of thing. I also want to say hello to my dad and to Polly and Gay up there in Clinton, and I know Bill's out on Del Holla, and he and Paul, they're supposed to be walleye fishing out there this week, so hopefully they're catching them. That's about all I got on the fishing aspect, and the phones are on, so if you've got a question, just let it out. If not, I'm going to start with Brad over here to my right, and Brad, tell us what you got.
Coming up June 6th at Roane County, or Kingston City Park, we're going to have we call it a youth outdoor adventure. It's for kids from 5 to 17. We're going to have a little fishing tournament. The local NWTF is going to have a BB gun shoot, so it's just a type of activity where we can get kids involved in the outdoors, and so it's in Roane County. But statewide, June 6th is Free Fishing Day, so all over the state there's going to be kids fishing rodeos going on across the state, so just try to find an event close to you, and more than welcome to come to Roane County to ours. Every kid coming through, we're going to get a T-shirt. Going to be a lot of prizes to give away, so kids seem to have a really good time.
All right, Brad, I appreciate that. I got to extend the one up at the hatchery for Region 4 a couple of years back. Had a great time. I haven't made one of your alls yet, but I expect it to be just as good, if not better. And if you've got young kids, folks, and I'm going to tell you, you ain't going to have a better time. It's well run. They just, you're right there on the water, and the kids are just having a ball. So I encourage you to try to make that for sure.
What's unique about ours is fishing starts at 9 o'clock, weigh-ins at 1. You can fish from the bank or a boat.
Mm-hmm.
So you can go out, fish with your kids, bring them back for the weigh-in.
Oh, man.
So we try to have it, and there's prizes for first, second, and third biggest fish. So we try to get it where every kid and parent can come out and fish and have a good day.
Okay. Hey, that can't beat a deal like that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, that's, gets crowded on the bank. You can get out there in the boat and fish towards the bank.
Exactly.
All right. Sounds good. I'm glad that came out. Derek, you got anything to add to that?
Not to that. I would like to go ahead and say we're going to have one of our boating safety exams. It's going to be on June 3rd. It's going to be at Kingston High School. What's the time on that, Ray? It's going to be 9 a.m. and need to be 11 years old, and at least 11 years old, and need to purchase your top 600 boater safety exam permit before you get to the class. And anyone born on or after January 1st, 1989 needs to go through this class before they pilot a boat.
Yeah.
So,
and that don't mean if you're 35, you still, figure that up. How old would you be at the maximum age right now? Or if you're 21, you
26.
still got it. 26, yeah. If you're 26 or younger, you got to have it.
you got to have it to be legal on the waters in Tennessee.
Okay, I wanted to clarify that. Yeah, perfect. And then what was the dates on that there?
That's going to be June 3rd, Kingston High School, 9 a.m.
All right. June 3rd, Kingston High School at 9 a.m. My grandson needs to attend that. That's why I'm asking.
We'd love to see you.
All right, perfect.
A lot of insurance companies will actually give you a discount on your boating insurance if you take that course. So it's not just for
might need
kids.
to brush up myself then if I can get some of that money off that insurance policy. Daggone.
Hey, it's always good for the parents too, because a lot of times when they come in and they sit through the class with their children, they learn stuff too.
Yeah.
So
I guarantee you.
it's a good deal all around.
Yeah, without brushing up, I wouldn't ace it. I guarantee you. I've been on the water all my life, so I know what you're saying. All right, that's good information. I definitely need to get Wesley lined up on that. That's perfect. June 3rd. Yeah. Okay. Barry, what you got?
Steve, I guess we just want to talk about some the type of laws that we enforce, and that the boaters need to abide by, and maybe give them some tips if they can practice boating safety that could literally mean the difference between life and death, or could decrease their chances of them getting into a boating accident or something along those lines. As far as laws go, the one we run into most of the time this time of the year would have to be your registration violations, and while it's not a safety concern, it is something that every boater has to have is their current registration. A boat cannot be on a Tennessee waterway unless it's currently registered in the owner's name, or the owner's name. We got a lot of guys that will buy a boat and then not go register it, but they'll still take it out, and they can't do that. They need to get it registered before they even put it on the water. So, in my opinion, this stuff really starts at home. And I'll get into more of that as far as boating safety. And to more laws we enforce, and we run into things like not having an appropriate amount of life jackets for each person on board. You know, for each individual on a boat, you have to have a life jacket, and it has to be accessible and in good condition at all times. We run into that a lot. And age requirements on a life jacket, anybody that's 12 years old or under must wear a life jacket at all times if they're on the open part of the boat. Now, if they're in a cabin, they don't have to. But they must wear it at all times unless they're anchored, moored, or aground. And if they're floating, that still means they're underway. So if they're underway at all, a child between, 12 and under has to wear that life jacket. Now, when they turn 13, they don't have to. But until they're 13, they have to. And that's something we run into that quite a bit.
Yeah.
And there's different safety equipment that you have to have for different size vessels and so on. But the most common stuff that I've seen as far as enforcing the laws is to make sure that they have their top 4 throw cushion. That's another type of flotation device. It's a square. It looks kind of like a seat cushion.
Right.
It has 2 handles on it, and if somebody were to fall overboard, you'd throw it out to them, and they would grab it.
Right.
And, it would help them. And a fire extinguisher. They need to have a fire extinguisher. And again, there's different requirements for different fire extinguishers. But for the majority of boats that I see, if they have a fixed tank, gas tank, they've got to have a fire extinguisher. But unless they can take that tank and throw it overboard, they have to have one. And that's some of the laws we kind of run into. Also, another one would be navigation lights. Between the hours of sunset and sunrise, a lot of our tournament anglers, they don't really, not just them, but a lot of them, because they're who are out most of the time this time of year, fishing night tournaments and so on. They like to put dimmer switches on them. You can't put a dimmer switch. Can't cover them with a Mac hat. You've got to have your lights on. And that consists, if you're underway, you've got to have a 360-degree white light on the back of your boat and a red and green light on the front of your boat. That needs to be on while you're underway. Now, if you're just stopped, if you're floating, or if you're fishing, I guess you could say, or whatever, you can have the white light on. That's all you need on. So that's one thing we run into also. But as far as safety, just a few tips, and they're pretty obvious tips, but they really do start at home in your driveway. I mean, I do this myself when I'm at home. I'll check and see exactly, do my nav lights work? Is my trailer, is it in good condition? Just the simple stuff. Do I have all my life jackets? Do I have my throw cushion? Do I have a fire extinguisher? And anybody you might have, like I'll get the family together and say, hey, these are where the life jackets are at. This is where the throw cushion is. This is where the fire extinguisher's at. Because if something were to happen to me, then at least they'll know where it's at. So I would recommend if you're a father or a boat operator and you're going to take people out, whenever they get on the boat, say, hey, it's not real cool to do, but say, it don't look cool, but say, hey, look, this is where the life jackets are. This is fire extinguisher. This is where the throw cushion is at. And this is how to use all 3 of those. And because that's another thing. Just because they know where it's at, they may not know how to use it. So they need to know that as well. So just, a few tips. Just have all your equipment. But it's the responsibility of the operator to know what he has to have. Okay? So have all your equipment and know where it's at, know how to use it, make sure it's in good condition. Unfortunately, this time of the year, we run into a lot of people who like to drink and boat. And we could go on about that, but the best suggestion I have is just don't drink and boat. It's pretty simple. And like Derek said, they're having a boating safety course. And I got to say, I mean, I know I've been on a boat all my life on the water. And it may seem like common sense to some people. It certainly does not to me, because there's a lot of questions on that and a lot of information that I didn't know. Even as a boating officer, when I started at TWRA, I had to take the exam myself, and there's a lot of stuff that I just didn't know. And I've been on a boat forever. And I know most people watching probably have also, but there's a lot of things that is really good information that could save your life or your family's life.
Agreed. I'll give you a for instance. 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks, it'll be 3 weeks this coming Saturday night. I was on Norris Lake at about 11:30. I cranked up and was going to make a little half-a-mile run over across the mouth of Big Ridge Holler right there down to the next point. And I was just up on a plane. Don't never run real fast up there overnight.
but man, one of the closest calls I've had in many a year. Guy was out there, not a light one on. All I saw was the shadow in the twilight, and he was standing up, fooling with a light. He had one of those square, I mean, I've come that close. He had one of those square battery fluorescent lights, and just as I got, that close to him, he flipped the light. He either had it turned the other way or didn't have it on, but he was standing up with the light in his hand, and that's how close that, and it scared me and my buddy to death, because I just knew we'd done run over somebody. And him standing up in the boat, it would have knocked him out without a doubt, but I did get turned quick enough to get away from him, but that was just the point of the lights right there. And if you're going to be out there in the middle of the lake, here's the way us fishermen think, folks. If you're going to do that kind of stuff, do it over there in the coves. Don't be on the main drag out there, because if you're up there, a lot of times these guys run pretty swift at night. They're running 60, 70, some of them 80 mile an hour. And when you run up on somebody like that, you ain't got a chance. So if you're going to do that, if you're floating around out there in the middle of the lake, you're in the wrong place. They won't run that fast back in the coves now, I promise you, because they're going in there to fish and they're shutting down that. But now when they're on the main lake, look out, especially tournament night. To about 2 o'clock in the morning, look out. After that, you're pretty safe. But I wouldn't do it then. I'm just saying. I know how the fishermen are, so I got a headlight on my boat, and when it's time to go to blast off, I allow myself just enough time, to weigh in. I allow myself just enough time to get there, and that's running. And when a bug hits you, it's like somebody hit you with their fist. So you wear clear glasses, and that kind of thing. And I've had bats hit the depth finder, but that, the point is don't be out there in the middle if you're just going to be floating around. Please go to the bank somewhere, because I know how us fishermen are, and we're going to run pretty much as fast during the night as we do during the day. Don't ask me why. It's just the nature of the beast. But you don't have to float out there, and I'm just telling you the truth about it. I fish right up to the last minute, just give myself enough time to get there, and I'm gone. Get back. I'm turning my lights on, the hot foots to the metal, and we're headed down the river, boys. So I just wanted to fill you in on what's going on. But that, when I'm just up there pleasure fishing, I just kind of take my time, get up on top, cruise around. We sit down, because a lot of times we got rods laying here and everywhere. We don't want to lose one, especially of a night, But this was a real close call, and, I shoot far. This scared me to death, and my buddy too. We was, God, what's wrong with that idiot? Do not float in the middle of the river. If you're going to do that, get over to the bank or back in the coves. I'm just telling you where you can be the safest. I'm just picking up on what you said, about your lights and that kind of thing.
You need to have somebody watching out for you at all times. The other day I was out scanning with my side scan down Chickamauga Lake, and I just wasn't paying attention myself. And I look up, and there's a boat in front of me. We were both idling, but the point is, I didn't know he was anywhere in the world. Yeah. Had I kept an appropriate lookout like you're supposed to, then I'd have knew he was there. So that's just an instance where I just made a mistake myself,
Well, and something can happen so quick. And Steve, you helped Derek and I out earlier this summer when the guy flipped his boat.
Yeah.
And luckily he was in a life jacket, because that water was so cold, he would have drowned if he didn't have it on.
No question about it.
You came and helped us out with some equipment, but that's what people don't realize. Yeah, you're having a great time on the water, but it can turn deadly in a matter of seconds. So you really need to be prepared.
Yeah. That goes back to exactly how you prepare could mean the difference between life and death. Simple, just small things. If you'll do it ahead of time, it can really save it.
Yeah. I want to make a point here. Another thing you brought out that I hadn't really thought about. At home, you want to have an evacuation plan in case there's a fire. Well, I very seldom ever get my buddy and say, hey, that fart stinger's right there.
you know. So you've brought something to my attention that I need to do, especially when I've got a stranger or two in my boat for the first time. They need to know where the throw cushion is, where the fire extinguisher is, and some safety equipment and this, that, and the other. So you've got my attention on that part of it, I guarantee you. That's a good thing to point out to anybody that you're going to take out on your boat, because you may be incapacitated and you can't tell them at that point, you know, if something happens. So good point, guys. You brought out some good things.
Steve, there's one thing I'd like to add. Talking about the life jackets, like Barry was talking about, like he said, everyone on board has to have a life jacket, okay, that's accessible and in good serviceable condition. Well, along those lines, that life jacket needs to fit that appropriate person, okay? If you've got 4 adults, you know, on a boat, or 4 adult life jackets and you know, 2 adults and 2 kids, that's not going to work, because those adult life jackets, those kids will slip right through them. Okay, make sure your life jackets fit the appropriate people that's going to be on your boat.
That's a very good point. I don't see an adult life jacket on a small child is like not even having one.
Yeah,
exactly. I mean, you're just trying to skirt the law, but you're not going to save that child if something happens. So it's not worth the effort. Get the right size. I agree 100%. You know, it's a lot of this stuff's just like you said, simple stuff, but it's real important. And when you get out on the water, let me go back to the first thing, this registering your boat. When you buy a new boat, you get a card with that purchase, and you go to the courthouse, and you pay your taxes on it, sales tax on it, and at that point, that's when you register your boat. Now, that card will suffice. If you go to the lake without the numbers on it, you're okay as long as you've got the card. Is that true?
Yeah, you'll get a temporary registration.
It's
a yellow copy usually, and they'll mail out the white copy, which is the original, and you'll have the carbon copied yellow.
Yeah.
If you'll just have that yellow copy,
in your hand,
and we'll pull up and say, hey, where's your registration? I say, you don't have any numbers. And you say, here it is, I've got this. And we'll say, that looks great.
Yeah. And in a few days, you'll have it used to take about 30 days. Now it's less than a week. You've got your numbers and everything back. And same way with re-registering your boat, whether it be yearly or 2 or 3 years, you know, whatever you decide to do. So that's a good thing. Let's see. Let me say something about these running lights again. My wife and I it's been several years ago, and here's what's happening. I've been on Watts Bar and North Lake pretty much all my life, and there's houses now that I never thought there would be. Well, when you've got houses, you've got porch lights, you've got street lights, and all that kind of stuff, dock lights and what have you thrown in. I came real close right there in the mouth of, right there, not Blue Springs, but Bayside. I was fishing this left-hand point going into Bayside Dock, one of my favorite places. And this guy was in a pontoon boat across the lake. He had a big spotlight, and I heard him crank up. You know, there wasn't a whole lot of boats out there at night. Well, we were there fishing, and I know what happened. My back light was the background. He didn't know that was a boat, you know. And I'm telling you, the fin on his pontoon didn't miss my back corner of my boat that much. The water spray came over in the back. And we were screaming and hollering, and you know, and I even jumped off the front of the boat and hit the dash and was flickering the lights, you know. And they had enough nerve to say, you need your lights on. I had them on. It's just they didn't recognize them. So let me tell you what I'm getting to. When you're mixing in with the background behind you at night on the water, distance is kind of
creep up on you.
Creep up on you. Exactly the best word I could think of, or you thought of it. But you lose, you know, your back running light is lost in the background. So, you know, they're just headed back to the dock or headed over here to where the house is or whatever, and all them lights there, and until they get right on you, they don't see you. So just keep that in mind. I wanted everybody to keep that in mind because you are mixing in with the background nowadays. There's a lot of, like I said, a lot of houses and places I didn't think it'd ever be, but, you know, with the lights and stuff, because I've started in the fish place, and, hey, that don't look just right. I didn't remember that light there last time I fished that, you know, and then it'd be a boat sitting there. He'll turn this a little bit angle or whatever, and I'll see his front light. But as long as they're headed strictly away from you, that back running light blends right in with the background. And as far as that goes, when I'm night fishing, I got 3 or 4 black lights out, 2 on each side, just for that fact that when I'm, you know, that guy's seeing these black lights and I'm fishing the bank over here, you know, hopefully that'll let him know that I'm out there. So that's just something to think about. Now, years ago, I never thought nothing about it. If we had 2 black lights, we had 2. If we had 1, we had 1, and it's always on the fishing side. Right. And the dark side of the boat was, you know, in the dark. So nowadays, there's all these lights available, so we got 4.
See, we do see a lot of people at night that will use the LED strip black lights. Mm-hmm. But the problem with it is they'll run with them on. Mm-hmm. They will get on plane with every light they've got on. Yeah. And you cannot do that. The 3 lights you need to have on are the 3 that I was telling you, the white light, the red, and the green light.
Okay, now you've made a point to me again. I need to cut my black lights off.
They just, if you see a boat coming, I'm looking for a red and green light or a white light, not a black light. What is that? You know, I don't know.
All right, good point. Let me catch this call and see what he said. Hello, caller.
Yeah, this is TED.
Go ahead, TED. Good to hear from you.
You know, you're talking about those lights there. Maybe they need to change them instead of just the yellow lights to maybe have some other sort of white color with them. That way they won't be confused.
Yeah? You're talking about the back running light on your boat?
Right. And instead of just regular light color, maybe put a red in there or something, you know, to just distinguish it.
Mm-hmm. From the background, you're saying?
Right.
Yeah, I got you.
Know.
Yeah. I went I went and put reflectors on the back of my boat. Them little stick-on reflectors.
That'd be a good idea.
Yeah. I said, that's too close for comfort, so I got me some stick-on reflectors, stuck down there on the side of the boat.
Have you one of them poles like a barber's pole with reflector tape?
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I've seen that too.
Another thing I was going to tell you there, you know, if you want to run them bugs off up there when you're on north there at night.
Yeah.
Rub you some citrus juice on you, or you know, like lemon, lime, or whatever.
Yeah.
And that will deter the bugs.
Okay. It won't attract them.
The only thing bad about it is, if there's a bunch of women around there, they'll think it's Margaritaville.
Okay, yeah, I got you. All right.
Now,
yeah.
To get down to the serious stuff.
Okay.
Does any of your gentlemen know about why they drew down Boone Lake and didn't notify the people that lived up there? And their boats and stuff are down on the bank now.
That's TVA.
And they're not going to raise it back up this year.
Let me say this. I don't know. That's in Region 4, and all these guys here tonight are from Region 3. So we might.
I didn't see their number on their forehead.
I know. Well, anyway, I've got the Region 4 guys going to be here next week. I want you to save that question and let's find out. You guys know anything about that? Okay. So they're not going to jump over the line. I guarantee you. I don't blame them. I wouldn't either. Their boss probably wouldn't like it.
Don't want to step on anybody's.
No, but save that question until next week and call back in over here, will you?
But now I got. Why is it Upridge Rowing Club can leave their food there year round, and people that fish with buoys can't do that?
Good question.
That's Region 4 as well.
Okay, that's another Region 4 question right there. I want you to make sure you're asking. Yeah. Milton Hills in Region 4.
Daggone it.
I know it.
Another question is,
Okay.
I read in the paper, Knoxville paper this past week, that there was some dude, they thought they could go out one of these scenic deals in a canoe and went up in a cove out there from the rowing club and found out that they was dumping raw sewage in that creek or the lake at the end of it.
Where was this at?
That was down at Oak Ridge Rowing Club up in one of the ponds. Under the road there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I
don't know if that was up where the rock quarry is,
Yes.
but I think it's the way it sounded, that was the way it was where it was at.
Man alive. Make sure you got them 3 questions wrote down to get with this bunch next week from Region 4, and let's figure that out.
Yeah, well, the person that was on that scenic rowing trip didn't know whether that was algae or just brown stuff.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good question, but I'd like to find the answer out to all 3 of them, especially that one right there. List that and there's number 1.
Yeah. Well, another thing is, I thought I'd tell you that Uncle Jim
Yes, sir.
and Aunt Jean
Yeah.
have a new addition to their family.
Okay, I hadn't been over in a week. I talked to them today on the phone, but nothing was mentioned about that.
Yes, sir. It's got 4 legs though.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I let Uncle Jim have one of them chartreuse dehydrated minnows.
Okay, perfect. I'll be there tomorrow. I'll get a look at it.
Yeah. Well, unless he sells it at a high dollar, you know how he is.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, I thought I'd throw that all right at you there.
Well, you doing good. Just keep them questions in mind for next week. I would appreciate it.
Well, you know I have a short memory.
All right, I'll remind you. I wrote them down.
I'm sort of like Mike Richards.
Okay.
And I have my moments, especially when I'm on my medication.
All right, man. I appreciate. I got you.
But anyway, I tell them guys there, I thought they looked nice in their little green suits.
All right, buddy. I'll sure pass the word along.
All right.
Thank you, man. See. All right. I hadn't heard. I did hear something about Boone Lake several weeks ago, but I don't know what happened. I thought they just naturally drained it down. I didn't know it was putting people's boats on the bottom. Water level in Boone Lake. All right. Hello, caller.
Hello, Steve.
Hey, Mike.
How we doing, pal?
Buddy, I'm doing good. Right while I got you on there, I want to thank you for your support of the free fishing trip. I got your.
Welcome, buddy.
I got your.
Well, the reason I'm calling you, I'm just thankful. Lamprey called in.
Yeah.
He called in, and that's the Region 3 guys, Region
That's
4
for
questions. And you're going to get the Region 4 guys on, and he's going to call in and give Region 3 questions. So you got to explain Lamprey, those officers there,
will after the show.
And he talks about me being on medication.
Right.
The
I know.
Not in the guy. Just not in the guy.
You know, I'm glad he's back in the house getting to use the telephone, really.
Tell the officers there from Region 3, my property borders Lakeside Resort. Anytime they want a cup of coffee, just stop in here.
Buddy, I'll do it.
They do a great job down here. I've lived here for 31 years, and I have zero complaints about White Creek.
I agree.
Or the rest of the lake.
Yeah. I think they're doing good, buddy. I'm glad to have them on the
Good
show.
job. If you need me, holler. I'm watching. If I'm not calling, I'm watching.
All right, man. I appreciate it. And thanks again for that donation, buddy.
You're welcome, Pat. See you now.
See you, bud. All right. Okay. Anything special you guys want to mention about the more boater safety, the boaters course, or the Kids Day?
Only one thing I can think of. Oh, go ahead and get a caller there.
All right. Let's see what's going on. I got two lights blazing.
Uh-oh.
There we go. Somebody's on hold here. Hello, caller.
Hey, Steve.
Hello, Willie.
It's me.
Yes, sir.
Hey, can you ask those guys what we could do if there's anything they could do about those pipes down there at the orange they both cut through?
Oh, man, that was something I missed on my to-do list, Willie. I sure will. Guys, stand by, Willie, and let me explain what's going on. You know, through Arnhill cut-through, you got the steel pipes with the arrows on it pointing one way, right or left. There's one of them been hit several times, and it's like an arrow. It's you know, like a javelin looking at you. Can you guys check that out for us and see if you can get them fixed up before somebody runs one through themselves or runs through their boat or something? If you hadn't noticed it.
We can, we'll let our hunter ed and boating ed coordinator know about that, and I don't know if that's who puts those out. I don't know if that's the Coast Guard that does that. You know, with the navigation buoys. I think that's the Coast Guard who sets the big buoys. Isn't that correct? But we'll make that call, and we'll see what we can't find out on that.
Okay, man.
But I know exactly where you're talking about.
Yeah. If you could help us, when you find out something, if you call me or Willie Word, either way, I'll give you his number before you leave tonight.
I'll just give you a call.
And you can call me, and I'll pass it on to you, Willie. How's that?
All right, sounds great.
Okay.
Those guys doing a good job. Another thing, I heard they're going to put them Florida bass in around July. Is that right?
Have you all heard anything about that?
Didn't you tell me they already put some in?
Seems like it's in Nickajack they did.
Okay,
They're scheduled to do Watts Bar, Fort Loudon. I don't know if we've touched on that or not. And I think Chickamauga again. And you said Nickajack. Okay, so pretty much that part of the Tennessee River.
Okay. What Willie's referring to, we went down and helped them with the piles at Caney Creek and down to Big Springs and Spring City. And they were going to, at that time, Mike had said they probably would release sometime in June. But I think we heard a rumor there Tuesday night that they wasn't going to release them till later on because they weren't large enough, they felt like. So that's their call, but if you can get us any insight on that, we'd appreciate it.
Okay.
Yeah. When we hear that they're put in, we'll definitely let you know. Okay. From what I hear, they're at the hatchery and they're trying to grow them right now to an appropriate size to release them. So
sounds good. Does that answer your question, Willie?
Yeah.
Okay, man.
Let somebody else call in. So, thank you. Y'all have a good night.
All right, Willie. Appreciate you calling, buddy.
All right.
See you, bud. All right. Okay. Why that took place, Willie is the president of the East Tennessee Sportsmen's Association, in case you guys haven't heard about that. And they're trying to get members up and this, that, and the other. And what the bottom of the organization's wanting to do is they want to have some representation at your all's meetings in TVA and the North Lake Task Force and this kind of thing. We're also, too, in this organization. We want the hunters to be involved, you know, because you guys regulate the hunter rules and laws and what have you. Plus, you know, where's the habitat at? Who controls the habitat? You know, what we're going to do about the quail population, or is there anything, you know, and just on and on. So it's not just for fishermen; it's for everybody. Okay. So,
great.
We're trying to get that thing started up here. Hello, caller. Yeah.
Yeah, it's T.D. Lamprey again.
Yes, sir.
I was going to ask them gentlemen there if they stock those Florida bass in there, will they grow like they do down in Florida? I mean, or will it, the colder water and climate up here stunt their growth?
You guys got any insight on that? These guys are a whole lot into the law enforcement end of it. They're not the biologists by no means, but they may have some input.
I mean, they're going to grow, but during the winter months,
I guess there's no use asking why they don't put these golden trout, stock golden trout down here in our area.
Oh, but that's 5 questions you've got for the next guy that comes in.
Daggone it, why you always want to put me off?
Well, I don't. Well, I'm just saying these guys don't know the answer to that kind of question. They're going to tell you that, hey, you have to talk to that biologist about that.
I knew I should have called your brother.
Yeah, call Mike. I'll get you on his number.
Daggone it.
I'm
I'm going to call Bill Nichols and have him.
All right.
Anyway, why'd you have to, I see you brought in those ringers there when you went up on North fishing there tonight.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, if they have to help you catch fish, just go down the cross-side cricket like Mike Richards does.
Okay, I may try that out if it gets down to it. Sometimes I get desperate for fishing film and have a fishing show without fishing film's bad.
Yeah. But anyway, I thought I'd throw that in there. Toodaloo.
All right, good to hear from you again, bud. Write them questions down, seriously. I got them. All right, I got them in here next week.
If I'm out of time, out in time.
Okay, well, I hope you can get out in time. Tell your wife, please, will you? All right, man. He's a case, that right there is. But he means well. He really does. He's good. You know, we were back to this Sportsman Association. So if you guys haven't heard of that, you know, I just thought I'd pass it along to you. That's trying to get that group of people set up, and they've got attorneys that draw up their charter and all this kind of stuff. You know, they've got about 70-some members right now, and hopefully it's going to grow, and it'll be, you know, instead of the group therapy, we're going to give you 2 or 3 people to talk to, and that way they can pass it on to the group.
Great.
You know, so that's kind of what we got going on. Anything that you guys want to mention that we haven't talked about? I mean, anything other about the Kids' Day, Brad?
No, I think we covered it pretty well.
Pretty well. Okay, good deal. I'm all for it.
But anytime you can get to take a kid fishing is just an unbelievable experience, you know. So, you know, you don't have, and when we teach hunter safety, you know, you don't have to be a grade A athlete to go fishing and hunting and be good at it, you know.
Right.
I mean, you can go fishing and have a great time, and yeah, if you really get into it, it can cost you some money. But you know, other than that, it's pretty reasonable sport.
Yes, sir. You know, you're exactly right, and that's always a good thing. And I'm going to tell you this: I had a discussion with a person the other night about this very thing. A lot of times, us bass fishermen or crappie fishermen, when we've got a young person with us, we expect them to act like we do. Well, that's not going to happen. We go out there and stay all day for 2 bites most of the time. when you've got a young kid and you're wanting to teach them things, plan on being in the shade, go when it's cool, and put them on something that, if it ain't nothing but the bluegill, and I learned from experience, I didn't do that with my kids. I took them out there and got the backlashes out for them and tried to teach them how to throw a bait caster, and them 6, 7 years old, and that wasn't the right thing to do. So I learned from experience. So put them on some bluegill with some red worms, and take a couple of hours and get in the shade and have them let them, once they get that thrill of that bite, man, it's a done deal.
Absolutely.
That's the whole,
Let them develop that technique.
That's right. When you're out there in the hot sun and you're trying to throw a 30 plus and they're sitting out there waiting on a bite, that's not too good a thing. Yeah. So break them in right and get them where the fish are at, and then they'll enjoy it from then on.
Make it all about them,
That's exactly right.
That's what it's about.
Yeah, have a good time. Listen, boys, I'm glad to have you all here with me. I think we've had a pretty good, informative show. Herschel, I'm going to stop a couple of minutes early. The reason being, I want you to show that Rome Street Grill commercial that we made. Is that going to be possible? Okay, and so sounds like a plan. So you need what? 58 seconds. I believe we can handle that. I want to thank my sponsors for sponsoring the show. I'd like for you, if you go into their business, let them know that you appreciate them sponsoring the show. And I want to thank all you guys that showed up for the East Tennessee Sportsman's Association meeting there the other night, and ladies. Liz, glad you were there. I know you're watching. But folks, we try to cover a little bit of everything, and so, and I hope you've had I think these guys, I really appreciate them. Like I said again, it's good to hear them reiterate these rules and regulations, because sometimes we forget and we do learn from it. Like the plan of where the fire extinguisher stuff, I've had people in my boat, I guarantee you they don't know where mine's at. So I will address that, and that's a very good point, and the boater safety course and the kids' day. Okay, folks, God bless you. See you next week, and don't remember my guests will be Bart Carter and Jim Neeson. So see you next week. Good job. Let's go fishing. Hey folks, I'm here at Tim's Tire, and just kind of go down the aisle here and show you all the tires they've got stacked up, waiting for a customer. So if you're in need of tires, make sure you check them out and get down here and price your tires. Or call them on the phone. They'll give you the price of them right there on the telephone. As you can see, the warehouse is full, so it won't be any problem sizing up what you need and getting your tires. So remember Tim's Tire. You can't beat their price, and they've got good service.
Country Fresh Foods. You may not know the name, but you definitely know the taste. Our homemade fudge is shipped all over the country. Its quality is unmatched, and it's made right here in Oliver Springs. But you don't have to travel all over to enjoy it. You can get it right here at our retail store, Pamela Ann's Fudge, Candy, and Gifts. The highest quality fudge in a countless variety of flavors. And we also carry a variety of candy and unique gifts for you to enjoy. Come enjoy the taste you have loved for years at Pamela Ann's Fudge, Candy, and Gifts in Oliver Springs. A division